Yo, what's up guys? This is Honor UI here, and I'm going to be showing you in this video how you can create an animated search bar in Canva. Let me give you a preview of what we're going to be creating. Yep, so this is what we're going to be creating in Canva. This is going to help you improve your animation skills and motion graphic skills in Canva. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this page, and I'm going to show you what I did here. So we do it again so you can see how that's working. So make a copy of this page, and from the original one here you can notice that we have our guides. So these are guides that we want to use on the new page. Okay, so these are the guides we still want to maintain, and you can see that everything is here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the entire every other page. I'm going to delete them so we have nothing on this page. And the first thing we want to do is we are going to be creating this thing here. So notice in our previous video, which you can find somewhere on the top of this video, I mentioned that you can, if you want to create this, make sure you have everything you need in the first frame. Everything you need should be in the first frame, and that's what I'm doing here. I have everything right here. So what we don't have in Canva yet is how you can name your layers. You can't name your layers, but that would be really helpful if we can name layers in Canva, so that we just know what we're using. And then I'm going to explain to you what we have here. So if you look at this, we have this rectangle here. This is going to grow. That's the reason why we have it, because we want it to grow. And then we also have the circle, which is the initial, and this one is supposed to, we also need to have this grow, but it actually can't grow, because if it grows it messes things up for us. So what we can use to create that grow effect will have to be the rectangle. But there are all the ways to do this, but I just want to show you the most simplest way to do this. Okay, now after that we have our text as well, and remember we have the text. Let me show you where the text is. So here we have this here, and then we have this here. Okay, so right here, if we select everything, you can see that we have our text here. So this is where the text is, and then we have this. So let's go ahead and draw this on the new frame. So we see that what you want to do here is you're going to go over to this area here, and you want to select, you want to go to shapes, and then you can select this one, or you can even select this one. So if you take this one, you can see it, you can reduce it, and it's going to give you that perfect shape. All right, so this means that when you want to increase this, it's going to go well compared to this one. So look at how this is working. This is why we are not going to be using a normal circle for this. If we want to drag this, this is what we're going to get. This is the effect we're going to get, and we do not want this. We want something that goes accurately like this to expand. Great, so we're not going to be using the circle. We're going to be using this one. This is the easiest way. And then we lock it here, we'll put it in the middle, and then we'll just reduce that. Okay, we just reduce that. Now we're just going to pick a couple of colors, but in this case we're going to make this black, just so that we can see what we're working on. And then just going to give this a brighter color, say white. That's pretty okay. Maybe not so dark. Let's choose a different shade of dark. Maybe here would be good, so that we can add an outline to this. Yeah, so we can add an outline to this. So let's give it an outline of 1 pixel. Okay, and then let's give the outline a color of complete white. All right, so you can see that white somewhere around there. It's there. And then we're going to go and search for our search icon. Now you have your search icon. We're going to use this one. There are lots you can use, but let's just go with this one. It's very good. And so we can just put this right here in the middle. So I'm going to select both of them, go to position, and you can see it's already in the middle. It's pretty good. So just reduce that again. This should be fine. This should be fine. Great. And then we're going to give it a color as well. So let's give this a color. Awesome. Now we have the first instance. And then looking at this, you're also going to be thinking, what else would you want to have here? And the other thing you want to have here is your text. And so let's add a text. And here we're going to just put here select animation in Canva. Okay. Oops, it's not how to spell Canva. Okay, great, awesome. Now we're going to just put this around here. And if you look at the previous one we have, you know it doesn't have a color because the first instance will not have a color. So this one here, we're going to, let's give it a lighter shade. I think that's good, but I want it to be a bit darker because of contrast. Yeah, so this is good. Okay, now we have this in here. And the reason why we're doing this is, I'm going to show you. Let's say we have this in this to start from here. And we want this to actually go all the way here. So what that means is our text is going to fall within this area here. It's going to be around here. Okay. Now, if we reduce this, if we go ahead to reduce, not that, if we go ahead to, oops. Okay, so I need to really drag this. Yeah, if we go ahead to reduce this and just get it here, this is exactly what we would want to have. But then we want to make sure that the text doesn't show up. So we're going to move the text out a bit. Okay, great. So that works well. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to select everything here and we're going to just put it in the middle. To confirm that it is in the middle, just get all of them, grab them, and just put it here. And also confirm here, it's actually in the middle, and just put this here. Remember, you can actually just put this here, but you can reduce the transparency. We have three elements here right now. We have the icon, we have the shape, and we also have the search icon. And then we can put this, give it a transparency of 0 value. But before we do that, we need to give it an animation. So it's going to have an animation, and it's going to be a text animation, and we're going to use the typewriter. Now here, it's going to be on both. Okay, and then we're going to say maybe we want it by character and we want to reduce this, we want to reduce it, or maybe this. Let's say this. Okay, I think this is good. Great, so we're going to do it like this. So by word, let's see what we had here. Let's see the animation we have here. So yeah, it was on both, it was on enter, and it was, yeah, here. Okay, so let's use an enter as well, just to be consistent. So on enter, so around here. Great, awesome. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select our text and we're going to make it 0 transparency. Now you see we have our text and it's 0 transparency. Great. Like I said in our previous video, you need to make sure everything is in the first frame so that when you're going to make a duplicate, you're going to have the same element, the same sentence, the same shape, the same size, but you can actually change the size in the other ones, in the other frames, okay? Now that we have this, we're going to select this and we're going to Command D or Control D, or you just click duplicate here. And now we have this. If you check to add this, you see it's already taking match and move because from the original document is match and move. So you have match and move, you have the seconds here, 1.75. If we confirm that here for the match and move, we will also see that we have similar. Yes, so that's what we have. Okay, now that we've gotten this sorted out, let's look at how we want this to actually spread out. Now on this one, we want this particular text, we want everything here to move to this way, and then we want this particular circle to actually grow. So this is one way. We're going to look at it and see if this is going to work. If it's not going to work, we're going to find another way to actually do it. But this should actually be. And then this text is going to be on this side. And this time around, it is going to be visible. Okay? And we're going to align it to the left. We can just increase this in case of problems. Now we have created this. Looks good already. Now let's try it and see if we have the same thing. Remember, on this one here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. That's because we wanted to do it reverse again, but let's just see how that's going to work here. So we have this. Okay, this is the page. Now that we do, let's play it and see. So go to duration, and we're just going to play that. Okay, so you can see that it just didn't grow as we wanted it. You see that it just didn't work. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to use the method that I actually use at first. So just growing this way doesn't actually work. Okay, it just doesn't work. And we're going to use the other method that I used. So you see that? Can you see from here? It just didn't work. Okay, it just didn't work. But then I figured there was something that we should have done. Okay, so let's select this and duplicate it again. And this frame is going to move to this area here. Okay, it's going to move here. And then nothing is going to happen here. Nothing is going to happen. So this is going to be here. And then this is going to move to this area. And then this is going to grow. Okay, so let's see that. So this, let's see if that's going to work. So we have this here. Let's also delete this one. And we're going to reduce this to this because it's just going to grow. And then we're going to add this up. This is going to be increased. So here, we're going to have this icon here grow. Let's try this method and see if that is going to work. Okay, so you see here, I think this is too long. Let's just also reduce that. So you have this here. It goes here and it moves this way, but it just appears. And that's not the effect that we want. We want something to actually grow. Okay, we want something to actually grow. And that is where we are going to be having this. And that's why we had this inside of this. This is a rectangle. I told you, I mentioned that. We have this rectangle. So this is to say, just putting this and expanding it wouldn't work. You just have to do a little bit of tricks to actually get this effect that works like this. Okay, like it expanded. And that's what we're going to be doing here. Okay, you can see that it expands. Okay, it just expands. And that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so next thing that we're doing here is we have this, and we're going to copy everything that we have here so you can see it. So I'm going to show you. We'll copy this, and we just delete this one, and delete this one, and delete this. We just paste this here. Okay, so this is the initial. Now let's look at that. You see the text that we have. Okay, so you can see that. This is a, you see, this is a circle. It's just a normal circle, and I'm going to replace that because I'm not supposed to even use that. So we're going to go over here to shapes, and I'm going to select this one because it's just easy to use. Okay, and just maintain the same size here. Great. Okay, just going to copy the style and paste the style here, and I'm going to just replace it here. Make sure it's in the center. Great. And then I'm going to put it back, and I'm going to delete this one. Great. Now we have that in there. Okay, so let's see where our rectangle is. So this is our rectangle. I want it to be here. Okay, it's going to be at the very top of it. So it's going to be at the very top. Okay, now that we have this, let's go ahead and reduce this animation, reduce this transparency, remove that entirely. And then we have sorted this out. We have our text, we have our rectangle here. You can see our rectangle. So what we're going to do in the next frame is we're just going to select this and we're going to duplicate it. Just like we have right here. You can see this is our next frame. This is our next frame here, where we have this now expanded. Okay, we have this expanded. You can see this is our rectangle. This is the circle. We didn't change that, so that's what we did. So we come here, and then we're going to take the circle and the icon, and we're going to move them here. And then this one here, which happens to be the rectangle, we're just going to increase this way. You can see that. We send it to the back, we send it to the front here. If you look at this, you can see that it is actually in the front here. It's in the front here. And it's got every other thing. It's got the shape, it's got everything else. You can see that, right? Okay. Now, what we're going to do is just reduce this to this level here, to that level, and we can even just increase that to the top, increase this a little bit here. So we have this here. This is what we have. Now we're going to make sure that it's also got rounded edges, rounded curves. So if we go to the rounded corners here, we can see what rounded corner it's having. So select this, check the rounded corner, it's 80. So we select this as well, and then we're also going to make it 80. Okay, we're also going to make it 80, and then just drag it up to this level here. Great, so you can see that we have that also set to 80. And the next thing we want to do is our text. We're also going to drag our text to this level here. And then we're also going to make our text to become visible. Let's just change the color of the text, a bit softer color. And here's what we have. So when you have this, it gets to this place and then it grows. It gets here and then it grows. You see that? Awesome. So that is actually how to create this. If we want to just do a little bit of tweaking, we can select this one here and we can just move it out a bit like this, and we can just go that. You can see that way. So if we play this, you can see that animation. Did you see that? Great. Now we can just increase this a little bit just to delay it. So when we play, great. Now let's increase this one, increase this, and this as well. So let's play it again. So let's go ahead and play. Great. So you can see how that animates gently. Look at that. Okay. So it animates. Now, one thing that you also need to know is in the first frame, which we needed to do here as well for the very first screen. Need to just mention that so you wouldn't get confused. So for the first screen as well, when we go to position and we go to this here as well, you can see that it's actually set to 0. You can actually make it 80 here. If you make that 80, it will actually curve. All right. So if you make that 80, so let's just do that again. We select this, and while we're here, go to position, and we select this rectangle, and then here we make this rounded corners to be 80. So when we duplicate this page and send this here, and when we also increase this one this way, you'd also notice that, so when we increase it like this and just put our icon there, so let's just put this icon here, and then our text, we just put our text here, and increase this text, change the color of the text to this. And then when you play this, you're going to notice the difference. Did you see that? So that's the difference here. Okay, you can see the difference there. What you want to do is just make sure that you just reduce this to this and just reduce this way, and you have the same thing. You see that? Now the reason why this is turning off, I told you if you make any change here, it's going to affect the other one. So remember, we just made a change now and it's no longer looking like the previous one, so it's difficult to match and to move it. So put it this way: whatever change you want to make sure you make it on the primary, and then you just copy the instance of that primary to just put it there. And this is how you go about to create that kind of animation that we're talking about. You see that? So it grows and moves. It grows, and that's how you do it. All right, that's how you go about doing that. So if we delete this, let's do that one more time. Let's do that one more time by adding a little bit of flair. So this one, we're going to just duplicate that twice, and this is going to be smaller. We're just going to, this is going to be smaller like this, and then on this one is going to grow big, and then it's going to spread out. Okay, so this, and then on this one is also going to spread out. So here we're going to have the shape here. This one, we're going to just say, okay, not you. Yeah, so it's going to spread out. And then we're going to have this one right here. And then we're going to have our text right here. So this is going to be this. Okay. Then if you play this, you can see that. You see that? You can see that it just grows. Okay. One thing you need to just you need to confirm is that it's got the 80 here, and it also has the same 80 here as well. That this is also 80, and it's going to just play the same thing everywhere. Now on this particular stage, on this here, what we're going to do is we are going to select this, and we're just going to remove the transparency. So let's see how that's going to work. You can see that it grows, and then you can see what had just happened. That's because we made that other one to not have the transparency there. So these are the tricks that you just need to look out for when you're working on this, and you can fix that. Okay, so that's it. We have that. Now back on. Okay, great. So you can see that. Now on this one, make sure to move this as well to this. Make sure to move it here, and you are good to go. Awesome. So here's it. You move it here, and it goes, increases, and then it spreads out. So that's how you go about creating this. Look at that, and then it grows. And then it grows. Okay. Now you can just look at this settings here and see how this is made. If you want this file, let me know in the comment, and I'll send this file over to you so you can just use this to practice more and more and just get better at this. I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, have a wonderful one.